The truth is that Fani Willis ought to be on trial for perjury, conspiracy to commit perjury, witness tampering. She's committed the worst crimes that I've seen prosecutors commit in front of all of us. Everybody saw her lie about when her affair began. Evidence is overwhelming that she committed perjury, including technical, scientific evidence and several witnesses. The evidence is overwhelming that she didn't pay back the money that she received, that essentially she got kickbacks for appointing this highly unqualified person to head the prosecution. She's the one who ought to be in the dock. And the judge made enough findings of fact, talking about an aura of mendacity and how it's likely that she's not telling the truth, to warrant her being disqualified. So I sure hope the appellate court takes the case, throws her out of the case, and recommends that there be a criminal investigation. You know, the Romans asked who will guard the guardian. Prosecutors. We have to have an independent prosecutor of some kind looking into what is open and shut case of perjury.
Yes, it's all there, affidavits, and like you said, there's cell phone tower pings that contradict, there's witness testimony, but McAfee is up for election, which many say may play into this. I'd like to, in our time here, talk about another judge that's in the headlines, Professor Dershowitz, and that's Merchan. He had a gag order on Trump. Trump goes out and reveals basically that the daughter, Lauren, has been working with these folks, Democrats, and a lot of them, like Schiff's campaign, raising millions, $93 million when they campaign and put out email blasts about the Trump case, conflict of interest. So then he expands the gag order, won't be recusing himself. Again, like you said, who guards the guardsmen? Isn't this the same thing?
No, this is even worse because here you have a judge ruling to protect his own daughter. Talk about a conflict of interest. The law is very clear. If the judge, for example, is sitting on a case where his daughter could benefit financially, of course the judge would have to disclose that and recuse himself. And of course the defendant would have the right to point that out. Now, here's a woman who works for a company that will benefit if Trump is convicted of this crime. And so that is a legitimate basis for disqualification. And gag orders are presumptively unconstitutional. They're prior restraint. And the gag order applying to a daughter who is an adult and who is involved in activities which seem inconsistent with neutrality. Remember, the same people that are saying, oh, my God, you can't go after a daughter, are going after Clarence Thomas's wife. And in both cases, you have relatives who would benefit from a decision going a certain way. And those are cases that call for full evidentiary hearing, an opportunity to cross-examine witnesses to find out the truth. And if the truth, as happened in the Fani Willis case, that the recusal, that should be the result.
So we have the court and we have the court of public opinion, and Donald Trump is in that arena today in two very important battleground states in Michigan and Wisconsin. So people see this, they see the lawfare, a term that you actually created, Professor Dershowitz, decades ago. But the cases still go on.
This is a third state now, and I think it's very important. The Biden campaign has now said that they think that Florida is at issue. Well, let me issue a very clear warning to the Biden campaign if they think Florida is at issue. If you think you can take for granted the very large Jewish and pro-Israel vote in Florida, you're mistaken. If you think Florida is in play, then you better think hard about your attitude toward Israel, not worry so much about what's going on in Minnesota and Michigan and Wisconsin, and worry much more about what's going on in Florida. Because let me tell you, if you become perceived as anti-Israel, you don't have a shot in hell of carrying the very large Jewish and pro-Israel vote in Florida. And that is a cautionary tale that you ought to take for granted. Right now, the Biden campaign is thinking
they are thinking that. Yeah, with abortion. Yeah.
Take for granted the Jewish vote and the pro-Israel vote. Well, let me tell you, I've been a Democrat since 1960. Even before then, you cannot take my vote for granted. I am no longer presumptively voting the Democratic ticket. I'm looking at your attitude toward Israel and to other issues.